Hey, Viking fans, I'm going to talk about who has got to make an impression this last week. Let's talk about it next in three, two, one. Gather around, Skull brothers and sisters. This is Skull World, brought to you by Minnesota Sports Talk. I'm your host, Dave. You can follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook at Skull World. Make sure you subscribe, like, and leave a comment. It's in the ticker below. Let's go. Let's go. I want to talk about guys that probably are on the bubble. They're on the bubble. Can they make the team? They got a chance. They got a chance. And I might be talking about guys who it's their last chance to make an impression, to get on the 53-man roster. They could be on it, but this is their last week to make an impression to where they could get playing time. Or hey, the Vikings, I might be making the team, but am I just going to be special teams? Am I going to, bubble practice squad guy? I want to, am I going to dress game day kind of thing? So I'm going to talk about these guys. Let's get into it. My first guys I'm going to talk about is the running backs. Okay. Now, personally, I don't think Abram Smith is going to make it. We got the situation: Alexander Madison, Kenny Nwangu, Ty Chandler. I feel have reserved their spots. I don't think the team is down on Kenny Nwangu. If he's going to start the season on a pup list, then we got open competition. We're carrying three running backs or tailbacks. We obviously got CJ Ham at fullback, but I don't think we're going to keep four if Kenny Nwangu is not there. So it opens up a spot. The competition right now is for fourth running back. Don't lose your place because of injury kind of rule. It looks like Ty Chandler will be our second running back just because Kenny Nwangu, well, not just because Kenny Nwangu has been hurt, but the guys I want to talk about are Dwayne McBride and Aaron Dykes. Aaron Dykes come out of nowhere. We sign him. Undrafted free agent. Can return kicks, and he looks like he got a couple good runs in at the end there, or at least one. And then he looks like he can catch a pass. I like it. And he returned kicks, two really good kick returns. That has him making it potentially if Kenny Nwangu's out and we decide to keep a fourth running back. I think he'd be the guy. Now, Dwayne McBride looked better, but he could solidify the fourth running back spot if we keep four, if he does well. Now, that's tough. Could he get put on the practice squad and not get claimed? That's the scary part. Aaron Dykes could be put on the practice squad and not get claimed. So, I mean, that's not a problem. But I don't think Dwayne McBride would get there. I think other teams may have liked him. They just had other needs at the time. So this would be a freebie for them. We drafted him in the 7th round, to remind you. But Dwayne McBride looked a lot better. Not Ty Chandler better. Even though Ty Chandler only had 2.2 yards per carry, he looked good early. He looked great in the first game. Everybody's saying, well, there's no big runs. Well, we put him at the better offensive line. We'll see what happens. At least ones that have worked together. Well, let me skip to this then. Offensive line. The whole offensive line needs to play better to impress the Vikings management. Brandel, I think he took a step back because Schlottman had such a bad game and Kenny Nwangu had such a bad game. So he was basically bookended by two terrible performances. I mean, Schlottman tackled him on a play. Schlottman was calling the protections, it looks like, and he had everybody shift over and two guys just ran where they were not. It was silly. So Schlottman, although he's probably got backup center solidified, didn't play well at all. Brandel didn't play as bad. but he played so well the first game, and it looks like we in some 53-man roster things. It looks like Brandel would be like the backup guard for both spots. He's played left on the first game and looked great. He says he's more comfortable with the right, and that's where he's shown as the backup. So Blake Brandel, he's fine, I think. But the other guys, geez, you got to get more confidence. Schlotman's probably fine because of the center, but Oliudo played so bad last week. I don't even know what to tell you. He didn't play that very well the first game either. Receivers, we got such a luxury. Even though now people are down on the receivers as the last game, but because of Udo, and other stupid penalties that we had, a couple of nice catches got erased. That's the facts. Check it out. Fact. Jalen Reagor, Tristan Jackson, Brandon Powell, Thayer Thomas have all looked good. Reagor didn't. I don't think I might have accidentally spelled his name wrong. Anyways, Jalen Reagor. Yeah, and someone's going to correct me in the comments. I know it. Tristan Jackson, Brandon Powell, Thayer Thomas, all been looking good. Last week, we could have had more receiver catches if there weren't penalties. Those are facts. Who would I say? I'm going to do a 53-man. Right now, I'm leaning because Jalen Naylor is out. 6 guys might make unless Naylor goes on the PUP list, 6 guys might make it. So 2 of these guys would make it, and that would be my guess. Geez, Powell's our punt returner now, so I'm gonna say him, and it'd be a fight between Jalen Reagor and Tristan Jackson. I'm gonna go with who I think is better. Geez, I don't know. Who do I think is better? I think Reagor and Powell are so close to their type of play. I would have to lean to Tristan Jackson. It's a tough one, but Thayer Thomas looks good. I don't know. Forget it. I'm moving on. This is too tough. All right. Troy Reader, Troy Dye. Oh my God. What am I doing with the spelling? I'm going to correct that one. Troy Dye. Where is there we go. Troy Dye. Troy Reader, Troy Dye. And it's kind of weird. They're both named Troy. Okay. What do we got here? I'm going to make sure. Yeah, Troy Dye. Yeah. All right. Troy Reader. It's weird. I'm like, that can't be right. But Reader and Dye are fighting for it. Reader's looked a lot. Dye's looked a lot better. Reader has shown tackles, but I can't picture him in the game. It's like he's unsung, secretly getting these tackles. Troy Dye had a couple splash plays, but only had 2 tackles to like 6 of Troy Reader. If they're only keeping 4 off-ball linebackers, it'd be Jordan Hicks, Brian Asamoah, Ivan Pace Jr. for sure. And then you got Troy Reader and Troy Dye playing for the 4 spot. This is really a special teams position, most likely, because a nickel's so prevalent that we may only have one of those starting linebackers on the field. But Troy Reader, Troy Dye, I might be given just because of the special teams aspect. Reader is supposed to be a good special teamer too, but Troy Dye is also. I would have to get the lean to Troy Dye just because there's been a couple plays that this guy really made that really stood out. And this is the first time me ever complimenting Troy Dye. He's played decent. Najee Thompson. Why do I think this is his last week to make a impression? I'm not gonna lie. 6 cornerbacks. The only way he makes it is he has to have 6 cornerbacks, which is possible. And the fact that, he's basically only going to be playing special teams, but he's an ace at it. So he's worth it. Now, my only concern is that he got injured last week. We'll see. Now, I think we keep Jay Ward. Theo Jackson really has got to make a serious impression, but who knows? Jay Ward wins this, I think, just because of the recent draft investment. most likely wins if it's up between these two guys. But to make an impression, to get on a practice squad, Theo Jackson's probably got to do more. Jay Ward, same deal pretty much, but he's shown up. He's shown up. I'm impressed with it. Now, I was also going to put in here, and I might as well. I might as well. There is a group that hasn't impressed me at all, and that is the backup defensive line. The whole group needs to prove that they can play. I couldn't even tell you who could or wouldn't make the team, just because of how unimpressed I've been and giving up 280 yards rushing this last game. It was bad. It was bad. Who am I most like? Which competition am I most watching right now? That's a tough one. That is a tough one. Oh, I'm always watching the offensive line. I just can't stop watching it. And defensive line. Those two groups, I watched the entire game, and I just got to see better, man. I just got to see better. I don't know what to tell you. That's it. Make sure you subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Join my membership. Just click on the button. Go see what it's about. I'll start doing exclusive content this week. I appreciate it. Skull Vikings. Cue the music.